Good evening, welcome back. We're going to be seeing the second game of the evening, second game of 3 games in total. We're going to see Aware versus Meet Your Makers. I hope you're ready for this because I'm expecting a great match as Aware has been doing really well lately. We're going to jump ourselves right into the draft, and of course, once again, I am joined by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome back.
Yep, so good to be back. Sorry, I came in, and heard, speaking through my headphones. I was like, oh no.
Oh no,
but I'm just about in time. Totally not out of breath.
Well, I have to say, Aware was looking strong over the last couple of matches that we saw them in, and I'm really looking forward to see how they do up against Meet Your Makers, because, of course, Meet Your Makers just had a strong game against Virtus.pro. Nothing can be said about that, but I also want to, I feel like it was mostly draft. Play, of course, has a factor in that as well, but if Aware gets a solid draft against Meet Your Makers, if the drafts are even, I am expecting a really active match and a really close match as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Meet Your Makers in that last game is they definitely did outdraft them. A great thing about this team is that, I mean, it's almost a joke how many times these different players have been on different teams and played with each other. They've basically sort of swapped around with each other a little bit for ages. They're now all on the same team. So the thing is that they do play well together as a team. And they certainly proved that in the last game. They just sort of knew what their game plan was. I feel like, yeah, it was, a big drafting problem from the side of BP in the last game. And Aware, like you said, they've been a team that have kind of, I wouldn't say they'd be a huge contender to win the tournament or anything, but they've certainly proved themselves to be a pretty strong team in certain matchups and stuff. So, yeah, I want to see what they go for here. But Meet Your Makers, well, they go for a classic combo.
Yeah, classic Bane Mirana. I have to say, I'm kind of surprised about that. We still have the Ancient Apparition and Dazzle in the pool, which are considered to be top-tier picks at the moment. But both of the teams ignore them.
Not by these people.
No, we've got
Apparently
ourselves...
not.
Well, I would, Aware, obviously, is going for the 4-legged strategy. They've got the Abaddon and the Centaur, which, both are nice heroes, but they don't really lane very well together. So I'm curious to see what they pick up next. I mean, we've seen Centaur played on the aggressive tri-lane, on the aggressive solo lane. There's a lot possible there, of course. But Abaddon is normally a hero that wants to keep someone safe. I guess he could sit behind the Centaur and keeps him safe with the shield. And, you have to, of course, admit that the Abaddon is great against that Bane Mirana combo, because if you shield someone, no more Nightmare, no more Arrow, everybody is free to run around as they please. So that's going to be very strong against what Meet Your Makers is already setting up for.
Yeah, I think the Abaddon's an interesting pick. It's not a hero we see very often. That's certainly, not something you would expect to see, but it is useful versus that Bane Mirana. The best thing about the Abaddon is that you can wait until the Mirana has actually used her arrow already, and then just immediately shield them, and suddenly the damage that they've done doesn't mean very much. The long lockdown, of course, doesn't mean anything because it's instantly taken away.
Yeah.
It could be used with the Centaur in a dual lane. I think that would actually be an interesting lane to do, is Centaur Abaddon versus Bane Mirana. Bane Mirana, they haven't got fantastic base damage, they haven't got great stats. They might even struggle to actually harass that Centaur Warrunner. If he picked up Return level 1, they might just find that they're best off trying to last hit against him, and Mirana, not exactly a great last hitting hero, got very poor base damage.
Yeah.
Pretty nice animation, but I think it's interesting to see. That said, of course, they're harassed. They could probably still harass the Abaddon, and he would struggle in the lane. I think it's interesting. It's very open for both these teams, though. Meet Your Makers, of course, I mean, they've kind of picked themselves into a combo already.
And the thing is, though, Meet Your Makers is one of those teams that we've seen Unicorn play Mirana before. Every single hero on Meet Your Makers I've seen play Mirana before, apart from one of the supports. They actually ran it as a support hero at some point. So there's a lot of options there as well. It could be safe lane Mirana, it could be aggressive tri-lane Mirana, or safe lane suicide, or rather suicide lane solo Mirana, mid Mirana. We've seen it all before, but now they select a Visage there as well, so at least we know it's not a support Mirana. Could potentially go for an aggressive tri-lane with that hero, but I wouldn't mind seeing 2 dual lanes just come out, because with an Abaddon there on Aware, you're not going to be getting that much done in terms of aggression. I mean, unless they set up on Abaddon, obviously, then they have a very good shot at that, and I'm actually surprised that the Ancient Apparition is still in the pool.
Apparently, I mean, it's not good versus a Bane Mirana combo, so I can understand why Aware might not want that. they're probably a little bit worried that right now Meteor Makers will go for that aggressive tri-lane and then pick two really nice safe lane or solo heroes for the mid and the safe lane. And obviously, Ancient Apparition, he doesn't really fit into that sort of lineup. Meteor Makers don't want him either because, they've obviously picked themselves both their supports already. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unusual to see the Ancient Apparition completely ignored, but this is the thing about, you were just talking a little bit earlier about how the draft are coming a little bit more stale. It's still very open as far as what you can actually get away with in the draft. I mean, you could definitely say the drafts are stale, but then people pick a Drow Ranger, and I actually think this is a fantastic hero for this sort of lineup. Now she can go into a solo safe lane or a solo mid, and she boosts up the damage of this tri-lane by a fair amount.
But if that Centaur gets a Blink Dagger, that Drow Ranger is not going to be able... Yeah, she'll be crushed. Literally, it seems, because they pick up a Slardar as well, also a hero that gets a Blink and jumps in and actually has a spell that's called Crush. So...
Yeah, he literally crushes people.
Slytherin Crush, rather.
He's Slytherin Crush, yeah. Drow Ranger, I mean, it's so dangerous to run around.
I was gonna make that funny, but I only just thought of that.
Can you imagine, like a Slardar Drow Ranger having a relationship?
No, wait.
I feel like
Crushes
Drow's
can
a
be
little bit out of
unanswered,
his league.
so Slardar has a crush on Drow, and then, Drow obviously doesn't care because he's a fish.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Drow sees the inner heart inside Slardar and just looks at him and was like, I love you, Slardar.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think that Drow and Slardar could have a relationship?
No, I'm
I can ship it.
of Drow and Anti-Mage.
I mean, I can kind of understand that, but I mean, neither of them are big fans of magic. Drow is not a big fan of magic. Anti-Mage not a big magic fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but Anti-Mage is a little bit, I don't know. He's a little bit cold for Drow.
But Drow is cold too. She's got frost arrows.
Maybe they just both end up nobody would want to be with them, let's be fair.
Drow Ranger wants to have someone that can warm her up. So I'm thinking Ember Spirit.
Ember Spirit's like a dead spirit, dude. That would be weird. I'm just saying. That could be hard to have a relationship with.
The skin color
even
of
more
Drow
than
Ranger,
Anti-Mage.
she could be a zombie. You don't know that.
No, she's just blue. That's just very racist of you, Shiva. How dare you?
She is she could be a corpse walking around. I'm just saying.
She's not a corpse. She's very clearly alive.
Well, she could be a zombie.
I mean, for the moment, she's possibly going to die a fair amount. I've never seen any Dota hero eat.
No, everybody could be zombies then. That's how that works.
I mean, I feel like nobody in this game could legitimately be a zombie. The only one I could say is legitimately an actual zombie is Undying. And that's not going to get picked. Well, so we're not going to see any zombies this game.
I like the puck because they needed something that can initiate. So that's going to be the puck there. I do like the Slaughter Shadow Shaman combination as well. This looks to be two dual lanes coming out from Aware. And if either of the two, you don't even need to have both. If either of the two gets a Blink Dagger, things are going to get really scary for Meteor Makers, I think. Then again, if they can make their tri-lane work, which I'm going to assume that there is going to be, if there is going to be an aggressive tri-lane, and if they succeed in that, then Aware is going to be the one in trouble, because then their Blink Daggers are going to be slowed down to the point where it won't have that big of an effect on Drow Ranger anymore, because she'll be having a lot of free farm before the Blinks actually come online. Aware, actually, one more hero needed, I would say a mid-hero against the puck. Templar Assassin is actually still in the pool, so why not that one? Melee hero. More Blink Daggers.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Blink TA is that great anymore, but certainly still an option for them. The big thing for me is that Meteor Makers, I mean, I would have said they would have actually been better off with a Razor this game, just because he's so good versus Slardar and Centaur, because those heroes actually want to jump at you, and then you steal their damage, and they feel very silly afterwards, but they go for the puck, they do get great control, and it's somebody to try and give this Drow Ranger a little bit of space in the fight. I'm worried about where this Drow Ranger is going to lane, and, if Aware do those dual lanes, then Drow could struggle. That said, if Drow picks up Precision Aura level 1, everybody on this team is going to get plus 9 base damage immediately. And this team, I mean, initially you look at this team and you go, but Puck and Mirana, they don't scale that great with right-click damage. if Drow picks up an agility item, these two suddenly scale very, very well with right-click damage. So, Meteor Makers, it's almost cheesy, the sort of strategy they're going for right now, but Aware, they've got a much more standard lineup. That said, they pick up a Lion. Is this a mid-Lion?
Oh, I would love that. By the way, one thing I want to point out still, Aware last ban was a Luna. Was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's... Well, I don't know about that one. Maybe they thought the Drow was going solo mid and the Luna could go solo safe lane?
Yeah.
That's a doable thing, but Drow's not a great solo mid hero, really. It's more of a pub thing.
It would have depended on what they were planning on putting mid. Because if they were planning on putting a Lion mid, Drow Ranger versus Lion is actually pretty okay for the Drow, I think. Well, we're gonna see it though, because obviously... we are actually going to be jumping ourselves into the game once the Mirana has actually been picked up by Ace. And actually with Ace on the Mirana... Wasn't Ace playing mid in the previous game?
Ace has played a lot of different roles. I believe last game he was playing... I'm not even sure. I think he was playing mid, yeah. Maybe it's going to be a solo mid Mirana, but... Really, for me, it makes most sense to put the Puck mid.
Yeah.
They can run dual lanes, you know, maybe put the Bane Mirana top and then the Drow and the Visage top. They could leave the Drow on her own, but she might struggle. I think most of all, it depends on how Aware lane this. If Aware try to leave the Centaur on his own, they should probably just leave the Drow versus him, and she'll pretty much give the Centaur a hard time in that lane, and she'll farm up okay once she's got a few levels and, you know, one small item just to help her base damage, because she does have pretty poor base damage. And an animation as well.
You know who is gonna probably be mid?
Go on then.
Shadow Shaman.
It could be a solo mid Shadow Shaman.
Because Roger normally plays support, right?
Yeah, I think so. So I guess it is going to be a solo mid Shadow Shaman for them. Personally, I feel like a Lion does slightly better from the mid because he can instantly kill somebody a lot easier. Shadow Shaman, it's possible, you know, you can mess up your Mass Serpent wards. Yeah, you can take early towers, and I think that's probably the biggest deal, actually, because if you look at the side of Aware, they have got great killing heroes already. They probably don't need that Finger of Death. They do not have good pushing heroes, unlike MYM, who can push very fast.
Yeah, and they need just those early Blink Daggers, and if those early towers can help get those Blink Daggers online faster, it would be pretty decent, to be honest. Shoutouts to random people. There you go, all the random people in the world. You just got a shoutout. I
Congrats.
I got a shoutout. Yes.
Congrats to all the random people.
Yes. Let's take a look at who's playing what while I say that, and we're waiting still for the Mirana to get picked up by Ace, but oh well, for Aware, because they have already selected their heroes, we're gonna have Hakon playing the Centaur, it will be Stress on the Abaddon, Yamaha playing the Slardar, Roger on the Lion, and then Lolik playing the Shadow Shaman. I kind of feel like they swapped their lineup a little bit in terms of players that they had, because I don't believe Yamaha was there for the games that we had earlier this week. Previous week.
I do not remember Yamaha playing for this team. Anyway, though, on the side of Meteor Makers, it is going to be Unicorn on the Visage here, Crit on the Bane, that'll be the supports for the team. Rise is going to be picking up the Puck, and Link is going to be on the Drow Ranger, and of course, last but not least, Ace, who's still not decided on his hero. Apparently, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing Mirana, though, this game.
Yeah, I would think so, too. As well, he's got a couple of inscribed gems here on the side of Link. I'm just checking out what kind of set he has for his Drow Ranger. No cat.
I'm disappointed because there's no cat ears, and I mean, I think that's the only set that you should really wear on Drow Ranger. Let's be fair.
Yeah, no, let's not be fair.
Why not? I love the Drow Ranger cat set because it's hilarious, and it caused such a ridiculous argument when it first came out. Like, everybody got really angry about it, so I immediately bought it.
You actually bought it?
Oh yeah, I went out and bought it straight away.
Because you thought perhaps Valve was going to remove it and I'm going to be having the Drow.
No, I bought it to annoy my friends who didn't like it.
Thought you were going to buy it to have the same situation as the Ursa with the Alpine set.
And I wish I'd bought that Alpine set.
Oh, same.
I did not have the Alpine set because I was like, that's ugly. It's just, I don't want that. And then now it's worth silly money. Mm-hmm. How much is it even worth right now? I don't even know.
I don't want to
It's
know.
like genuinely worth like people get wages that are less than that. I know people who genuinely make less than that's worth in a week. Probably. Well, it depends how much it's worth. It's probably worth more than I'm thinking, actually.
Well, they probably make, like, it's probably more than I would make in a month, so that's not that hard, I guess. Some self-pity there.
Wow, put yourself down there.
Yeah.
I'm like tempted to Google it now. Like, how much is it? How much is an Alpine Ursa set? I'm gonna do that now.
Well, we have
I'm
to
gonna
wait
search
for
it.
3 minutes, so you know you have some time to check that out.
All right. Well, I have to mute my microphone for a second because my push to talk is on spacebar and typing will like.
Your push to talk is on spacebar?
I'm so sorry.
How very annoying is that?
It's because I don't use push to talk normally.
Why don't you use like Control or Alt or something, or Shift or Alt Shift or Control Shift?
Because sticky keys. I don't know.
But spacebar.
It's easy to press. It's huge. You can't miss spacebar
But
if you
it's
need
your
to use
jumping button.
I don't jump in. There's no jumps in Dota.
I know, but if there were, you would need your spacebar. I'm still hoping
like
that
I
there
said,
will
I
be
don't
jumps.
use push to talk normally.
I wish there were jumps.
When I normally play Dota, I use comma to talk to people in game, but mostly I play with friends, so I just have open mic on.
Okay.
Or voice activated.
You can have open mic here. I do that too.
Yeah, but I would like. There would probably be like a plane go by again or something stupid.
Oh yeah.
And I would feel bad.
Helicopter landing in the street, you know.
Yeah, exactly, right? Some Dumbo who flies his plane really close to the house.
Oh yeah,
like,
that one.
I seriously don't know who that is still. I asked people and they were like, I don't know who.
Someone misclicked.
Ah,
Ah.
no. Please.
Misclick. Told you so. I was right. Well, to be honest, I think this game is going to be a really good one. It looks like both teams have got their strengths in their lineup and their weaknesses, of course, as well. But both teams have a plan.
Both teams are pretty unique.
Yeah, unique with a plan, and they're going to try to execute it whether the opponent team will want it or not. And I'm just curious to see which one will work better, because it can go either way, and it can be a back and forth as well. I mean, Slaughter is one of those heroes that has a tough time of coming back, but if they at least have a decent start in the lane, which I think they should have, at least one of the lanes, there's still going to be a chance to come back, and so this could be a very back and forth game as well. Unless that aggressive trial lane of Meteor Makers is absolutely getting out of control, but I mean, we're not even sure if it's going to be an aggressive trial lane. I mean, for all we know, it's going to be a safe lane, trial lane with a Drow farming and a Mirana on the solo off lane. It could be.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that both teams, I mean, whilst we can kind of guess at what they would do and we can see what, we personally do, they have a lot of different options as far as what they want to do here. I mean, like you said, that Mirana, she can go into multiple different roles. I mean, they could even put the puck on the off lane, especially, that might be something, if Aware put a dangerous lane up on that off lane, or they put a lane that, you just can't deal with, they can change around their lanes very much. Aware could even go for an aggressive tri lane themselves. They could put the Centaur on the solo safe, and they could go Slardar, Lion, as well as a Baden aggressive tri lane themselves. And at that point, Meteor Makers, they might want to dodge that and just put the Drow versus the Drow, maybe with a little bit of help on the off lane, or, there's a lot of different options for them. I feel like they don't want to go... Stop?
That's what stress says. Stop it. No.
Oh,
says
okay.
Shadow Shaman. 3, 15, 2.
I don't know what that's meant to be.
It's probably a score of someone. 7,
all right.
1, 4.
Oh, okay. They're probably taking the mick out of each other the last time they played ranked or something.
Yep.
I still remember when
20, 0, 20.
What a player. 20-0-20. I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Ace. Ace. Rip.
Do you remember when Alliance used to draw a Swedish flag on their minimap?
Like,
that was like the greatest thing
ever. Time.
Yeah, they like coordinated that. I'm pretty sure they spent like at one point they probably like sat down and were like, guys, we need to learn how to draw a Swedish flag really quickly in the minimap. What is that meant to be? Is that a Mexican hat?
It looks like it, or it was something else, but what's that? Perfect.
I thought he was going to write percolate then.
Done. Done for what? You weren't AFK. Report, please.
They reported Rise. Apparently. I'm pretty sure you can't do that in a lobby game like this. In a lobby game, no. That is true.
By the way, people, keep in mind that even though these games, like, they're best of ones between teams that you might not be as familiar with as some other top 1 teams, tier 1 teams, but there is a $20,000 prize pool at the end of the LAN finals in Moscow where the top 4 will take place. So this is a pretty big tournament, actually, despite what you might think by the teams that are participating. It's just... Oh.
It's just these are the teams that are participating. Yeah, I think this is I'm pretty impressed with the prize pool they managed to get up here, because it's not like... I heard about this when you, like, told me it was happening, like, the day before.
Why is he smoking? What's wrong with the courier? That's not
the courier
normal,
is
right?
broken. What the hell?
Is it normal?
I've never
or is
seen
he
that
just,
effect.
Is he about to blow up or something? No, like...
He's not just smoking as well. Like, he's like...
blurry. He is
yeah,
blur.
he's like blurry. He's blur. This is the... Like, I've seen a lot of Greevils because, I mean, everybody ended up getting one of those things. This is the weirdest Greevil I've seen.
Me too.
As far as, like, effects and stuff.
I can't...
He looks freaky. Can you imagine meeting that? Like, if you saw that in real life?
You should
I'd
zoom
be freaked
in.
out.
Zoom in on him. He's, like, all over the place.
Damn. This is one messed up courier. He is not a good-looking guy. Admittedly, like, there's no good-looking Greevils. Like, they're all, like, naturally pretty ugly, but this guy is, like, a whole new level.
Yeah, we've got ourselves, Mr. Bane. I like the... I wanted to see the name on the side. It was nice. Oh, don't hide in the trees. Okay, so we're gonna have ourselves a dual lane coming out here for Meet Your Makers with the Mirana Bane combination. And then it's gonna be the Visage so far seemingly supporting the Drow, but perhaps also rotating back towards the top lane. Could be something that he wants to do. We have Hakon indeed on the off lane. Not gonna have any help for the moment.
Oh, Stress has already been picked out though.
Nightmare into Arrow.
He's probably gonna be okay, but
I'm not sure though. He has a shield, but the shield's already off. Couple of hits needed. That's gonna be your first blood right there. He didn't have a salve still ticking, which would have saved his life. One more hit. If he would have survived one more hit, he would have lived there. But first blood goes the way of the Bane, of Meet Your Maker. So that's gonna be the Bane Naga or Bane Mirana combination already working out.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's a pretty strong combination. I thought he would just about make it to the high ground and he'd have a little bit of a chance there, but yeah, which lineup do you want me to go through again? Sorry, I was fixated on that Bane the whole time. Oh yeah, we actually completely went through that already, but yeah, these are dual lanes for both teams here, and already Link is actually under a lot of pressure. This is something they need to do, but I don't think they can kill him here, not under the tower.
Ooh,
yeah, he's going to be okay.
Could have gotten the stun off, but once Hakon is level 2, that Dro is going to be in some major trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I'm really confused as to Unicorn here. He's going for this pull level 1. I guess maybe he just didn't know that the Lion was here, because otherwise he would not be doing that, because Drow is suffering here.
She's not going to get a lot of extra last hits here. This is a very tricky situation for her, as we actually have a slow coming out on Roger. But ooh, I like their voices. It is a very tricky lane. At the same time, the top lane is very tricky as well for Yamaha in that case, because he is not going to have an easy time. There is an Abaddon, of course, around to try and help him should things go bad, should things go south, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Because there's a lot of damage coming out from Meet Your Makers, and that Lion already got himself some first blood, so he is already pretty tanky. He's got boots as Shadow Shaman actually goes down in the mid lane. That solo mid Shadow Shaman, not really working out apparently.
No, and the big thing about this solo mid Shadow Shaman is he's slow, he's squishy, he's easy to kill. Puck is a traditional mid hero, it's one of those lane dominating heroes, and Shadow Shaman just isn't. That said, he's actually going to go on Rise here. Rise is probably going to be okay, yeah, he just manages to dodge out of there, but that was close. Yeah.
In the meantime, we've got a Nightmare going off on Yamaha. The shield is there though, and that makes sure that the arrow does not hit. So that's the combination that Aware was going for, and it's working out. At the same time, Link is starting to take a dominating position on the bottom lane because he has been harassing quite a bit here. Didn't pick up his frost arrows, but we are having Roger without regen. We do still have some regen on the Centaur, but that Lion, of course, one of the squishiest hero in the game, has to be careful.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that they're just not putting enough pressure on Link here. They only have this kind of slightly weak dual lane hit. It is good for killing him if they get him out of position, but Link's playing this fairly well here. He's making sure that they're just not high enough on HP at any point to really go aggressively in on him here. And, well, for the moment, he's not getting too much, but things are relatively even, but it feels like this is definitely falling the way of MYM, at least for this laning stage here. Their combos are just that little bit better. That said...
Haste Rune, gonna keep him safe for the moment. Looks like it's enough. He actually turns around. He has still got mana for an Ether Shock, but doesn't go for it.
He decides not to go for it.
He actually wants to go top.
Smart,
Still with his Haste Rune. Maybe they can catch out Crit if he is coming in fast enough. Crit, no. Too late. He's gonna have to go just walk back mid. That's 135 gold lost.
Yeah, and I thought he would actually go for a kill there, but the big problem was that the creep wave was just in the way.
Unicorn.
He would have been seen too early.
Unicorn dead. Nice silence coming out from Link, but it's too late, and his support got picked up by the very combination that Link was running away from every time. In the meantime, Yamaha is not going to get in a good position for a crush, so he backs off again as well.
Yeah, Yamaha will struggle to get much up here. I mean, at the very least, he doesn't need a huge amount in the way of farm. He does need his Blink Dagger, though. It's a critical item for him. And again, middle lane.
Yeah, and he actually walks out of the Dream Coil, so that's going to be giving the kill to the Puck. Arise now 2-0. He's doing really well. He's sitting on 21-5, while Shadow Shaman on 14-1, and of course 2 deaths. So that's pretty scary overall. We have got Mirana sitting on 23-4, so also doing really well. It's actually the highest last hitter on the map, and she is really shutting that Slardar down. Slardar has only got 5 last hits, so tricky.
Yeah, and Slardar just as a hero, not great versus Mirana. Even if you jump and crush her, she's going to be able to leap away. There's a lot of reasons why she's not great, and it looks like they're going to try and go on Rise here in the middle lane. Roger is here. He's actually picked up a... well, Hako is in there, or however you pronounce his name. He's in the area as well. Rise is going to walk into Roger here. I think he thinks these are illusions, but these are not. Shadow Shaman is trying to get here in time.
Is there enough backup? Roger is actually going to get picked off there. He just dies. Just like that. And now in comes Hakon. The stun will still go off. Double edge as well. Either shot will finish it off. That is a worthy exchange. And on top of that, that's killing spree gold. Because he just got a killing spree with the lion.
It's well worth getting, but... yeah, the Lion, I mean, he's just not tanky enough to do that on his own, and just a little bit too far out. Maybe didn't think that the Puck was going to be coming from that direction. I think they thought that the Puck would just, go into the mid or go into the enemy jungle there, but yeah, he didn't do, and he gives away that kill there. That's an essential kill for Aware right now, and things are very even though kills are slightly in favor of MYM. Things could go either way. It's all just about whether Aware can actually get hold of them, because right now they're struggling to.
Yeah, and that was the Nightmare Arrow combination. The shield was not there in time. In the meantime, they go for a Stampede. Go on Link, get the kill finally. This bottom lane is the only one that Aware is winning so far. And Lolik, now with his level 6, he want to take abuse of that one. He wants to place his wards next to the tower, and they want to get some early gold up on their heroes, which is, as said at the start of the game,
they're even bringing in Slardar. They're bringing in everybody for this. They really want this tower.
Dota! Hell yeah. I mean, really,
it's only going to be 4-man Dota, but...
what can they do against this?
There's not a huge amount that you can do against this, and this is a smart thing for Aware to do. Their lanes haven't gone as well as they'd possibly like them to, so they go for this here, but now, actually, this Rise is just killing everybody.
Yeah. Stress couldn't really do that much there anymore and goes down. Still his team will pick up the tower with Shadow Shaman getting the last hit. 1200 gold for him. We don't have a Blink Dagger up just yet, and we also don't really have anybody that's close to it. 800 gold missing for most people. Slardar, by the way, is also just still very, very poor. And even if you think that Link indeed got shut down on his lane, he at least got 18 last hits, and he finished up his treads, which he put to intellect. It's a bit weird. Oh, haste coming out. Nice silence coming out from Lynx, but the stun was still there. The slow there as well. The crush still hits, and Unicorn will still get picked up. His soul assumption will still come out, though, and actually creates a setup for the kill on the Slardar
Link might get both of them now.
Frost arrows teleport out, and that's gonna be Lion out safe. But still a 1-for-1 exchange, which is not worth it because they lost their Slardar for a support Visage.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe if the Slardar gets out, but he just dives so far in, and with the Visage, Grave Chill is great versus Slardar. It slows him down, slows his attack speed down, and he doesn't have level 6 yet, so he's not even that effective in an early gank, and they're going on Lolik again here in the middle lane. Ooh, just about lives.
So close.
And that's the difference of picking up treads.
Yeah, in the meantime, on the top lane, they go for the Stampede, looking for crit, looking for the stuns. The arrow flies out first. Do they actually have detection? I don't think they do. And that's going to
Nope.
mean that Moonlight Shadow keeps everybody safe. And actually, they're going to counter-initiate. They also are bringing in the puck. They can definitely do something here. I think they could possibly even dive if they have an arrow hitting. A Hakon has to be careful there. There is a level 6 on the Bane, by the way. He just got his Fiend's Grip. If only he gets some vision. Oh, hello, vision. Nice ward. And Stress. There we go. Arrow will still miss. Brain Step is still going to be there. Stress is only level 4, though. He does not have anything. He just suicides, which is all he can do. As Yamaha is going to look for a crush. We'll get it. They actually double crush that one. Yamaha, one more hit away from dying, but A's going to be kept in place. They already took down the Bane. Jump forward. That's going to be still the kill. Go on to the Slardar. On the Slardar, rather, but Marana still goes down for that as well. Slardar could have ran. He wanted to stick around to be in range of the experience, didn't get it. In the meantime, Finger of Death on Rise, and Roger gets himself a solo kill on Puck, who was on the back end of that one. And this could be the turnaround that Aware was waiting for, was hoping for. Can they take down a tower? They've got the mana for another set of wards. They have, with the tower, I think, having a Blink Dagger for Hakon. If they give the last hit of the tower to Hakon, that's a Blink Dagger for that Centaur, and that might be the big thing that they were waiting for.
Yeah, they need a Blink Dagger on one of their sort of 3 or even 4 initiators that they have on their team. And it looks like it's going to be on that Centaur first. They probably prefer it to be on the Slardar, but...
That's going to be Eagle Shock. Ace! Already picked off. Hexed up. Crit will go down as well. One more hit, and that's a double kill for Shadow Shaman's wards. I mean, they might not be getting... They actually also still get the tower. Very nicely done. And I have to say, that arrow was good, but Fiend's Grip was actually used in Shadow Shaman as well. But in comes that Impale from that Lion, and all of a sudden everything is stopped, and fighting under wards of Shadow Shaman is just not the best thing to do. It feels like kind of Meteor Makers might be slightly throwing. At the same time, Link was free farming though, and he did manage to get a tower with that Invis rune. Does Slardar want to try and do something with this? He's by himself. I'm not sure if he can actually take down Link by himself, but he's going to be out of his Invis soonish.
He's going to struggle to do this on his own, but Link is going to know as well if he goes on top of him because of marksmanship. He'll know immediately. That's it. He should try for this, I feel. At the very least, he's going to... he doesn't actually have a TP scroll, so it could be too dangerous for him to go for this, and he's not exactly the strongest right now.
Are coming in soon, though, but his Invis is going to disappear before the rest of his team comes in.
He's actually going to try and hide behind the trees here.
Yeah, then he comes, Link. Get amplified damage, Blink hacks, hello Lolix, Blink Dagger, that's gonna be a kill, nicely done. That's 2 Blink Daggers on the side of Aware, by the way, because Centaur has one of his own as well. Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, and it is pretty nicely done. The big thing right now is that Aware just seem to have more people at the fight at any one time than MYM did. If we look at that fight that happened top, the Puck ended up TPing in very, very late into there. He came in sort of from the side and beforehand, and it didn't do anything, and Ace and Crit were well out of position, and yeah, the thing is MYM right now, I felt like their strategy seemed to be working much better in the laning stage, but now that Aware that have got a bit more mobility, they're actually able to get on top of them and get a hold of them, get some of those AoE stuns down. They're in a lot better position. That's the good thing about their lineup. They have a ton of lockdown.
This Shadow Shaman solo mid, I am loving it. Sorry, Diego, I woke you up with that clap, but I really am enjoying it. Like, he didn't win his mid lane, but he got levels, which was important. Got those wards down, got those towers down, got the tower last hits on both of the towers that they've gotten down so far. Oh, Puck, they know this is happening. Puck actually jumps in, and the Aegis gets taken by Slardar still. Roshan by the Dire as well, but the Fiend's Grip on Slardar. Slardar will lose the Aegis straight away. The Dream Coil already ran out, but Puck is still going to be able to pick up the kill. Abaddon goes down as well. Shadow Shaman bought back, might be able to make something happen here. Unicorn is fighting with him. Soul Assumption does a ton of damage, and that's going to be the buyback, turning into a dieback. 3-on-1 so far, as Slardar actually came back, got himself the kill on the Drow Ranger, and picks the Blink Dagger up with that. Turns into a 3-on-4, 2-on-4 rather, because I count 4 because, of course, Shadow Shaman died twice. Actually, Slardar died once as well, so I guess we can call it a 2-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty even as far as outcome in the end, though, because Aware they do get the kill on the Roshan. I wouldn't say it's the worst fight for them, but considering that they were looking like they could do a lot better, the initiation from Puck really was the big thing that hurt them there. They got initiated on 5-man Waning Rift, 5-man Dream Core practically, and from that point on, Aware just aren't able to use their Blink Daggers. They aren't able to use all their stuns properly, and yeah, MYM kind of catch them out there.
Yeah. Or at least, Yeah.
Wow, Blink Dagger on Bane as well. Everyone's getting Blink this game.
Mobility team. I wouldn't mind seeing a Blink on Drow. It's not even a bad idea at all.
The thing is that this game, a mobility item for Drow is less about her being aggressive because her damage isn't that high, and more about defensive. So if she does even want a mobility item, I would even say maybe just get a Force Staff.
Yeah, that could work, I guess. So we might have a bit of a go here on the Centaur as we have a Nightmare coming off. The arrow will come in from the south as Mirana came in, and Hakon is in some trouble. Starstorm will finish the job. Good setup. And that's just a cookie cutter kill right there for Meteor Makers. Cookie cutter kill.
Yeah, and that's pretty much why they picked that combo, but Ryze is going to go down mid lane here.
Yeah. He gets it.
They won't get the tower from this, though.
They won't?
He does use his Dream Core, but they won't get the tower from his because the wards they weren't in position far enough up to, so... What? Alright, aware, they just smoked up then a little bit oddly. Not sure what the plan is for them right now. But they smoked up with the tower in sight of them.
Yeah, so that doesn't really work. So it was a bit of a either misclick or misplay, but they're not going to go anywhere with this. They're just going to defend a little bit more as Mirana is actually farming up the wards from the Shadow Shaman. They're going to try though, blink forward to crush, the leap is still there, he's stuck in the trees, so the creeps have found him. Drow tries to save his teammate, hitting from the high ground, might be in some trouble herself though, but Bane coming in will seal the deal. Fiend's Grip actually used as well, but the arrow will not hit on the Fiend's Grip target. The shield came out on Roger, the arrow on Yamaha, but Yamaha just turns on his haste. Stampede coming out as well. There was a haste rune actually laying around there. Link will be picking it up, which is a very great item for him. Link forward, Roger might be in some trouble. Sitting in a nightmare again. Brain Sap coming out, but the shield, the Soul Assumption, it's actually on the shield. So Roger still living through all of this. Running away still is not over yet, and he will go down now by the familiars. There we go. Finally, they get that lion for which they use Fiend's Grip, Nightmare twice, everything. But this time Abaddon was not able to save him. No more mana for the shield, unfortunately, for him. But it was the only one that died there on the side of Aware, just in general.
Yeah. I mean, both teams just kind of struggling to get any kills here. Despite the fact that both these teams have a lot of damage, Aware in particular have a lot more burst damage. They have so many stuns, so many AoE stuns as well. Earth Spike, they have the Crush, as well as the Hoof Stomp. They have a lot that can just completely destroy a team, but... yeah, it's so hard to get any of these kills right now. I mean, MYM just seem to be playing well around it, and Aware, of course, that Abaddon kept everybody alive for a lot longer than you'd normally expect.
Yeah, that definitely helped. As, well, I kind of find that Aware is maybe slowing down in their aggression. They haven't taken the tower in a while. It looks like they might be trying to make something happen. I guess the fight at Roshan kind of put them back a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. That definitely slowed down the momentum a lot. They do have these wards up now. They're level 2 wards as well, so the damage is greatly increased, and I think they're going to go in for this middle lane here.
Yeah, this is 5-man Dota. If they don't get a tower at least out of this, then it's going to be a pretty bad job, as the Stomp actually does not hit on the puck. The Dream Coil hits on 2 though. Soul Assumption on Lolik, Arrow on Lion, and there's only one that can be saved, and it is not anybody that gets saved from those 2 heroes. Lion and Shadow Shaman already dead. Fiend's Grip coming out. Crit still getting interrupted there, as Yamaha is going to be able to get away. Stress as well for the moment, and the aggression.
Oh, Courier goes down though.
Ouch. The aggression actually came from Aware. At least they were sitting there with 5, and they lose 3 heroes. This is bad news for Aware. Their aggression is not paying off.
Yeah, and despite the fact that Ryze dies again there, he gets the perfect initiation for them, and Aware, they just kind of, they looked like they weren't ready then. They hadn't dropped down their wards, they hadn't used anything up. They just got immediately initiated on, and at that point, Aware just kind of fell apart within the fight. They lost their 2 supports almost instantly.
Yeah. The Dream Coil, oh, jump in, crush up on 2. Link already dead from Hakon, and there goes the Ether Shock. Nice Nightmare, but it's after Shadow Shaman already got the Drow Ranger dead. Unicorn now shackled, should be killed off as well. Oh my god, they just left him alone, and that actually made sure that he got killed on the Shadow Shaman still. That's a bit of a misplay. Bit of a big misplay.
Yeah,
oh, jumping forward, they're
happening.
still aggressive. They actually get the kill there. Finger of Death used to take down the puck. That's 4 for 1, although it should have been 4 for 0.
Yeah, but that said, MYM did win the previous fight, and the Shadow Shaman is down, so they don't have their great pushing hero. They'll probably take the tier 1 from this, but they won't do it fast. They'll not get a huge amount from this. It's still such an even game, but the big thing is that MYM, they are out-farming them, generally. I mean, if you look at the net worth, the top 3, all on the side of MYM, both the supports are on the, above the supports on Aware as well. things are just a little bit more in favor of MYM right now.
Oh, Yamaha, stuck in a nightmare. Where's that arrow? Where's that shield? Nothing to follow up. Everybody of Aware is close by, so they didn't want to risk it. But they take a tower. They actually don't use Shadow Shaman wards for that. Obviously, he was dead. But that means that they still have it up if they want to try and push somewhere else. But this, like, Aware, it's not over yet, but they are behind. They're 5k gold behind. They're not inexperienced behind because Meteor Makers has grouped up quite a bit. And later kills were taken by Aware once they started getting Blink Daggers as Nightmare gets set up by Stress. Stampede though, they want to try and catch some people. Ace. He's gonna get Hex. He still landed an arrow on Stress though, so he's gonna sit around there for a little while as a Fiend Script comes out on Akon. Soul Assumption as well. Is there anybody there to save his life? Shield and a heal. There you go. Dream Coil still comes there though, and a Soul Assumption will finish him off. Shackle and wards from Lolik, but the wards, they don't see him anymore. No detection, and that means that Mirana is going to be the last one to fall in this engagement, or at least she did just fall right over there to the Slardar, and the rest backs off. Moonlight Shadow, not enough to save her own life, but enough to save the life of her teammates.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much okay for MYM there. They were probably caught out of position a little bit. I don't think they realized that Aware would be there, and Aware, I don't think they expected the fight to start that early for them as well. They were looking for more of a, to try and get more people out there, but yeah, they managed to get everybody out, and they lose their center for it, so pretty even trade in the end. And the big thing, though, is that if you look at these lineups, Aware, they just don't scale in the way that MYM do, so going even in these fights is not even as far as, as far as this game is concerned, because eventually MYM are going to be a lot stronger. That Drow Aura is already adding a lot of damage to people. It's 48 extra damage on the Mirana right now. I mean, how often do you look at a Mirana with these items and think, oh yeah, she's really scary, damage-wise?
Not often enough, as we have actually got 2300 sitting up on Ace, so curious to see what he's going to build with that. As he already has a Minthra Hammer, so there's two options here. Going for the Desolator, of course, because Drow Ranger is not a general Desolator builder, you would want to have it up on Mirana. Normally, though, you go for a bit of attack speed, which he is kind of lacking, so maybe Maelstrom will be the first one. But I would really like to see Deso, who's so strong against those tanky heroes like Slaughter and Centaur.
Yeah, and with no, AoE armor items on them, no AC or anything like that, I think, yeah, Deso would be a great pickup for her this game. She will need to get some attack speed after that, though, because, like you said, her attack speed is pretty poor at this point. I mean, Leap improves it by a minute amount, but not really a major buff. Yeah. That. So, yeah, she needs some sort of attack speed afterwards. But I feel like a Maelstrom or a Mjolnir would just be kind of wasted in this sort of lineup. And like you said, the Drow, she's not going to be picking up a Deso herself. She's got a Manta Star, so, any way of decreasing their armor is going to hurt them.
Roger already picked up. The Crush comes in too late. Nice pickup, and of course that's credit to the ward that was just placed. Actually, did they only just place it? No, that was there for a little while.
Yeah, that was that ward up there was for actually no, that was just placed pretty much now, like in the middle of that fight, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's only been up for like 50 seconds at this point.
Yeah, we are gonna see the gem coming off for Bane, by the way. They know that there's a ward up on the high ground. They haven't been able to counter it just yet, but that's the first gem ready. 21 minutes in, and Aware, I wouldn't mind seeing them get a gem as well, because they really need to get some map control back, and Lion actually just picked it up, realizing that they have one, so they want one of their own.
Yeah, and the gem is nice for them. I'm still just worried for Aware, though, because, they don't scale that well. The one thing they do have that can really make their late game damage great is they have the amplify damage, but nobody else on the team does any physical damage whatsoever. The Shadow Shaman maybe does a little bit with the Mass Serpent wards, but Mass Serpent ward and amplify damage, not exactly a classic combo. I mean, generally when you put amp damage on somebody, they either run away or they're going to beat you anyway. So, yeah, if you can amp damage and you can drop Mass Serpent's wards on them, you've just dropped 2 ultis to kill somebody off. And MYM, they don't only have one hero who can do damage. Of course, the Mirana, she's not going to scale as well as the Drow, but at the moment, I'm still just worried for Aware's lineup, because they're not winning this game as hard as they need to be. They need to get some great initiations now and start wiping out the side of MYM.
Yeah, and talking about initiations, I mean, everybody of Aware smoked up, but there's just nobody on the bottom lane, although maybe Yamaha is going to try to force them in.
Bait. This is a very obvious bait, and yeah, Aware,
there's no ward up on the high ground. Although Stress coming in from the side is kind of revealing things. So yeah, they're just gonna take the tower. Fortification comes out. And at the same time, Meteor Makers is trying to make a go for maybe the tier 2 on the top lane. But they'll be too late. And I think that Aware is gonna try to defend that top tier 2 as well.
Yeah, they definitely should do that. They'll lose this tier 2 tower on the bottom pretty quickly, MYM, but the sustained push from Aware is not really there. Ace can farm this up and actually get rid of this. He actually went for BKB this game, which is kind of surprising, but yeah, they have good sustained push on
He's in
MYM.
trouble. There's the shield. Will be enough. No, it's not enough. It is so not enough. And that is going to be a kill going the way of the Visage. Link coming in as well. The Moonlight Shadow is there, and the tower no longer there to reveal them. But, I mean, that's a very easy pickup, and like either you defend it with everybody there or you don't defend it at all. So that was a bit weird coming out from Yamaha there, and that actually allows for Meteor Makers to walk high ground.
Yeah, they needed to wait until everybody was there, everybody was ready to fight, and they just got caught out before they actually had everybody there. And yeah, Meteor Makers, maybe they could go high ground. It's going to be pretty slow though. They can probably take out the tier 3 tower before the Slardar is up, but if they do that, they're staying around, basically grouped up underneath the tier 3 tower, and then the Slardar or the Centaur, I mean, pretty much anybody can blink in and initiate there, and yeah, they're playing it safe, they're going to back off, and I think that's the way to go for things.
Arrow actually hit upon Lion. There's still going to be a shield, but that means the shield's on cooldown for the moment. Blink away. In comes the Stampede, stun, crit, going to be target number 1. Is there enough damage? The silence is there. Hakon can't get his double edge off, and that means the crit's going to live. He can actually turn around for a Brain Zap and for a Fiend's Grip. Nightmare comes out first. Where's that Fiend's Grip? No Fiend's Grip. That's going to be Hakon still dead. Bane dead as well, though, and Stress. He has got his borrowed time still. Will pop it as well as Yamaha comes in, crushes on Unicorn, but the birds coming in. Nicely done by Unicorn. That will be the Slardar dead as well, and Stress with his borrowed time on cooldown will be getting picked up as well. Hakon actually bought back. He's gonna die again though. There's no way.
Link almost killed himself on him.
Almost. Not quite. Oh, actually Roger coming in. Gets Dream Coil though. Where's that Impale? Where's that kill? Can't really get it down. Can't get it off. Lolik now coming in. Ether Shock, not enough to get a kill. Unicorn in the meantime getting a triple kill on his Visage. And Roger trying to get away, but the birds coming in for him as well. Look at those rockets just flying. Boom! Ultra kill for Unicorn, and everybody dead on the side of Aware.
Yeah, everybody goes down on the side of Aware, and MYM, they don't lose anybody. Link even TP's out of there when he sees Roger walking into him, and surprised he managed to make it out of there. Link almost killed himself on the Centaur because of the Blade Mail and the return damage, and Drow Ranger, of course, not a tanky hero, but he then walks into Roger. Roger ends up misclicking, I think, or cancelling his animation and doesn't kill him.
You get a mini cancel on your Dream Coil, so his animation got interrupted by the Dream Coil.
I think he went to right click him twice though. I think the first time he actually just panicked and misclicked, and then he got Dream Coiled. So bit of a mistake for him, but yeah, either way, Aware, they get crushed in that fight. They don't lose their tier 3 tower. The nice thing for them is that MY, they were so scared of losing their more heroes, they blink out, and what happened there?
That's a solo kill for Mirana.
Ryze just oh no, that was a solo kill for Mirana.
BKB
she hasn't even got a damage item.
No, she got a BKB though, so the Slardar can't really do that much against her. We now also have a BKB up on the puck, and that means that all those crushes, all those hoof stomps, hexes, they're not going to be able to do anything anymore, as we do have Link and Crit and Unicorn going for this Roshan. Should be an easy one for them as well. Yeah, there's no real contest for this one. It's double damage.
Yeah, I was a little worried at first
look at
because
yeah,
she just does silly damage at this stage of the game, and she's actually just going straight satanic, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Just because then, you know, if she does hurt herself early on in the fight, she can turn around and heal herself up instantly. It's a little bit of an unusual build, but at this stage with her damage, you don't need a damage item.
True. Well, let's see if Aware is going to do anything against this. There's 2 BKBs up on Meteor Makers. The BKB of Mirana is back up again, as the arrow will hit upon Yamato. There will be shield though. Dream Coil still comes out upon 2. Soul Summon as well. Maybe they can get Ryze. They do before he can get his BKB up, which is huge. Impale, Roger, Finger of Death there as well. The Brain Step will keep crit up though, and it's Lion that is the one to die. Stress in some trouble, will be forced back. Still has a borrowed time though, as a Fiend's Grip comes out on the Slardar, and it's gonna be him getting picked up. It's gonna be Aware that is losing this fight once again. Lolik can't get away, and last one alive here is Stress. He's trying to make something happen. He can't get Link anymore though, and now he's locked in. And the GG comes out. Meteor Maker still undefeated here in the excellent Moscow Cup. After a great showing, I have to say, Aware, they had a nice plan, but it took too long for them to get their plan running.
Yeah, and one of the big things for me as well is that MYM, they all benefit from the fact that they have the Drow Ranger in this game. They all get that extra damage that the Drow Ranger's aura gives. Aware, how do they benefit from having the Slardar? Other than having a great initiator added to their lineup, they already had good enough initiation, and nobody benefits from that ultimate of the Slardar because nobody's doing physical damage on the side of Aware. I feel like maybe if they'd picked somebody else that could have done something more in that laning stage, because he got shut down badly, and who could have then, in some other way committed and done some help for their lineup, maybe they'd have a bit more of a chance. But yeah, I think the big issue is they weren't able to get those items early on, and Slardar may be even a part of that as well, because he needs his Blink Dagger.
Yeah. He does. He definitely does. He was a bit late on that, and of course didn't have the easiest lane because he was already up against a Bane that got first blood. That wasn't really ideal for Aware, of course. But Meteor Makers just played it really nice, and they had great synergy between their heroes, especially, as you mentioned, that Drow Aura is really paying off. In the end, I just want to point out that Visage actually ended up on about the same net worth as Drow Ranger, which is quite impressive. But then again, he didn't get an ultra kill.
What a stat.
What a stat. We're going to jump ourselves to the third and final match of the evening. We have got one more match coming. We're going to see Aware once again, and this time they're going to be up against the Head. Now, we do have a bit of a break before that game, because there's about 25 minutes until that game is scheduled to start, so please be patient and stick around if you want to. You should want to, because it should be a good game. Ahead versus Aware. I am expecting another aggressive game. I mean, it is CIS Dota. After all, I mean, Meteor Makers might not be entirely CIS, but they are making sure that this tournament is, having a reputation of CIS and not cutting short for it. They're just on fire right now. We're gonna see Ahead versus Aware. Stick around for the last game of the evening for, of course, the excellent Moscow Cup, which is, of course, what you are watching right now. Don't go anywhere.